This news preview is sponsored by WMAQ-FM and Pepsi.
Tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
A major storm sweeping out of the southern plains headed for Chicago. John Coleman will tell us how much snow we're in for and what to expect for the morning rush. More questions tonight about a $20,000 fee Mayor Sawyer received while he was an alderman. And the moving story of a boy's struggle to survive war. Norman Mark reviews Steven Spielberg's Empire of the Sun.
Join Ron Majors and Carol Marine tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
Up next on the Channel 5 News, a major snowstorm has begun to hit the Chicago area.
Street crews taking no chances. They're out in force tonight. We'll find out from John Coleman what we might be in for.
Mayor Sawyer faces a mounting political storm over receiving a $20,000 fee 10 years ago. We'll have that story.
Also a review of the new movie from Steven Spielberg. Those stories and much more right here on the Channel 5 News at 10. Stay tuned.
Up next on the Channel 5 News, the man who nearly became mayor of Chicago in 1983 is dead tonight at the age of 66.
And a deadly extra-alarm fire leaves hundreds homeless on the northwest side.
Southside priest Father George Clements tonight talks about his portrayal on network TV.
And the city's Jewish community prepares for the holidays.
Those stories plus a western snowstorm flirts with Chicago coming up next. Stay tuned.
Tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
The man who might have been mayor, former Republican candidate Bernard Epton, died today. We'll have full details. An Oklahoma City shooting spree nearly wipes out an entire family. Chicago's Father Clements talks about having a movie made about his life. And it's Christmas time at Lincoln Park Zoo.
Join Daryl David and Mary Murnane tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
A star-studded special, Motown Merry Christmas, Monday at 8.
New controversy surrounding the mayor. We'll have the story right here at 10.
Father George Clements talks about his portrayal on network TV after the movie. Bernard Epton is dead tonight of an apparent heart attack. An extra-alarm fire leaves hundreds homeless. And an interview with Father George Clements after the movie.
This news preview is sponsored by Calvin Klein's Eternity, now at Marshall Fields.
Good evening, I'm Art Norman. Coming up tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10, the latest on what is now a nationwide manhunt for the suspect in the brutal murder of an elderly Waukegan woman. Also, are some Cook County residents not getting full police protection because of a manpower shortage inside the sheriff's office? We'll have a Unit 5 report. And the amazing sights and sounds of video games of the future. We'll give you a sneak preview. Those stories and much more tonight here on the Channel 5 News at 10.
They're more than police. They're true blue. Tonight at 8.
Now, back to our program.
The sights and sounds of video games of the future at 10. Will the County Sheriff's Police be there when you need them at 10?
We are paying for police protection. We're not getting it.
One officer works two beats. So if you need a backup, you're in kind of a bit of trouble.
Art Norman and Unit 5 investigate charges of broken promises and inadequate police patrols in the Cook County Sheriff's Department.
It is quite scary.
Cook County Cop Out tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
Amazing video games of the future. A special sneak preview at 10.
Bank Visa.
Tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
One of television's most popular actors, Michael Landon, dies at the age of 54. Tonight, Landon's fight with cancer and a look back at his career. Also, what caused this wild melee at a Freedom Festival in Detroit. And Bo Jackson back in action, kind of. Tonight, a sneak preview, the latest of what Bo knows.
Join Ron Majors and Carol Marine tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
Dominic's is making a saving splash. With Hinckley & Schmidt distilled or drinking water, get 4 for $3. Plus, bring your empties to Taste of Chicago and get free food tickets. Details on bottles. You can count on good taste when counting your calories with Le Menu Healthy Choice Frozen Entrees, just $1.79 each. And what better way to cool off than with Minute Maid Limeade or Lemonade? Get 2 12-ounce cans for only $1.50. All this and more during Dominic's Savings Splash.
Johnny B, Johnny B, Johnny B, Johnny B. Hi, boy. Watch me, Johnny, on the loose.
Weeknights at 6:30 on Channel 5.
The outrage over the Beauty Queen bailout on hard copy.
Up next, reaction pours into President Bush's choice for the U.S. Supreme Court.
Defendants in the Chinatown gambling trial get their first look at the government's star witness.
Fans mourn the death of actor Michael Landon.
And how a street fair turned into a wild melee. Next on the Channel 5 News at 10.
This is Channel 5, your 24-hour news source.
Good morning to you. I'm Robin George. Armed inmates at the Maryland State Penitentiary in Baltimore are holding 2 guards hostage this morning. The inmates are reportedly preparing a list of grievances at this hour. Meanwhile, an escapee from the Cook County Jail is back behind bars. Jesus Morales was recaptured on the near southwest side last night, 24 hours after his escape.
And hear every Sox game live on WMAQ Radio. It's Subaru Sadie.
Good morning to you. I'm Robin George. Police are investigating the possibility that the man accused of as many as 15 murders in Milwaukee may have included a Chicago man among his victims. At this hour, Chicago firefighters are battling a 211 alarm fire at 1445 West Taylor Street. 3 buildings are on fire.
And hear every Sox game live on WMAQ Radio.
This is WMAQ-TV, Channel 5, Chicago.
The Bears are back in action, and you can catch it all right here on Channel 5. Join NBC's Don Criqui, Bears great Dan Hampton, and Channel 5's Mark Giangreco for 1991 Chicago Bears preseason football. Mike Ditka and the Bears take on Don Shula's Miami Dolphins, live from Miami, Friday at 7, only on Channel 5.
Donahue at 3, followed by hard copy at 4.
We know this is a difficult time for you.
One of the hardest decisions in life.
Just know that we'll do everything we can to help someone else.
May be one that comes at death. To give a vital organ so that someone else might live. Join us for this dramatic story of one person whose mission it is to bring this triumph of life out of the tragedy of death. The Gift, a special report tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10.
My ultimate goal is to be there for that family. This is my calling.
Up next on the Channel 5 News, Valerie Bertinelli in some real-life roles.
Why the third airport will not be acceptable to these people.
The search is on for clues in 2 local plane crashes.
And The Gift, a moving story about a mother's brave decision and a man who helps her make it. Those stories and more next.
This is a Channel 5 News Update. Here is Jackie Bang.
Good evening. Coming up on the Channel 5 News at 10, residents near Lake Calumet angrily speak out against the proposed site. Tonight, they may have help from the site selection committee member whose vote is crucial. And one of the hardest decisions a parent could ever make. Tonight, a very personal and emotional look at the gift of life once another life has been taken. Good evening. I'm Roberta Gonzalez. We have a couple of different storm systems, one to the north and one to the south. What does this spell for your morning commute? Complete weather details. And Norman Mark talks to Valerie Bertinelli about her real-life role as a rock star's wife. Join us at 10 o'clock.
This is a Channel 5 News Update. Here is Jackie Bang.
Good evening. Coming up on the Channel 5 News at 10 o'clock, police go door to door on the north side as their search escalates for a group of men suspected of shooting 2 police officers.
Where does the Catholic Church send a priest to molest young children? Tonight, we'll take you inside this psychiatric hospital outside Washington, D.C. It specializes in treating priests with sexual disorders.
And meet the real-life children portrayed in tonight's NBC movie special In the Best Interest of the Children. They'll tell us how they survived their emotional tug-of-war. Those stories and more when you join us for the Channel 5 News at 10 o'clock.
Some people are performing experiments to make themselves smarter, but not by cracking the books or burning the midnight oil. They're drinking vitamin and chemical concoctions or taking drugs that supposedly increase intelligence. Can these potions really turn ordinary people into walking encyclopedias? Is this science fiction or reality? Join us for a probing analysis, Brain Boosters, Tuesday on the Channel 5 News at 10.
Hi, I'm Joan Esposito.
And I'm Warner Saunders. Education is important to all of us, as children, as parents, as a society.
We all know of people and programs that really make a difference to our quality of education. Well, we'd like to share these positive stories with our viewers. If you know of a special student, teacher, volunteer, or program, write to Tell Us Something Good at this address and tell us about their contribution to education.
And let us spread a little good news for a change.
Looks like a slippery morning commute. Complete weather at 10.
Coming up on the Channel 5 News, an earthquake rattles downstate Illinois.
Chicagoans offer to help devastated Bangladesh.
Questions about how a suburban man came to be charged in a satanic ritual abuse case.
A landmark ruling on whether failure to buckle up children could be homicide.
And a look at Michael Keaton's new movie.
Next on the Channel 5 News.
Tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10. Where can a man of the cloth go when he needs help? To a place in Maryland. Tonight, Marianne Ahern begins her special report, Behind Closed Doors. And the true story behind tonight's NBC special presentation of In the Best Interest of the Children. See what happens when an acute manic depressive woman struggles to hold on to her children when she becomes too ill to care for them. I'm Jackie Bang. Join Art Norman and me on the Channel 5 News at 10. Pull out the umbrella. We'll have complete rainy details at 10.
When priests go astray, where do they go for reform? And who decides if they'll return? We'll take you behind closed doors tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10. Money. It's getting harder to find and even tougher to hold on to. Today, every penny counts. Wouldn't you like to make your money stretch a little bit farther to find ways to save money on the things you do every day?
I'm Steve Crowley. Give a minute this week and I'll show you how to save a buck on the Channel 5 News at 10.
Meet the real-life children from tonight's movie at 10.
This news preview is brought to you by Chicago's Mix 102.
Tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
I was trying to help Kimberly, not a personal strike at them.
The actual families whose children were switched at birth. Tonight, what's next in their legal battle that's far from over. Also, those deadly twisters in Kansas and why people weren't warned. Tonight, new concerns that in Chicago you may never get a warning. And breast implants, the risks, what's fact and what's fiction. Joan Esposito has a special report. Join Ron Majors and Carol Marine tonight on Channel 5 News at 10. This is Channel 5, your 24-hour news source.
Good evening, I'm Jim Tillman. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for the entire Chicagoland area and all of northeastern Illinois. These storms that you see here are stretching all the way into Wisconsin, moving toward the east and carrying with it high winds, some hail, and very heavy rain. It should be brief. Stay tuned to Channel 5 News for a wrap-up on all the news at 10 o'clock.
And for suburban traffic on the ones, tune to WMAQ Radio.
This news preview is brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers.
This is a Channel 5 News update. Here is Jackie Bang.
Good evening. Coming up at 10, the real-life parents from tonight's movie tell their emotional story, how their children were switched at birth. Also, the bizarre case of a suburban attorney found dead at an intersection. Plus, breast implants. What are the choices? What are the problems? Joan Esposito clears the confusion on what the risks really are. Those stories and more tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
Of all the automobiles in the world, no car has ever been more carefully scrutinized than the Honda Accord. So high are the standards of excellence, it has inspired the highest owner loyalty of any import car in America. And because you love it, you can now lease it with no money down for only $199 a month with Honda's Love 'em and Lease 'em plan. True love for the life of your lease.
This is Channel 5, your 24-hour news source.
Good evening, I'm Art Norman. At this hour, the Space Shuttle Discovery is already running into problems. The crew tried unsuccessfully to activate 2 tape recorders needed to collect Star Wars data. NASA says several on-board experiments could now be in jeopardy. And Iranian radio is reporting this evening of renewed clashes between Shiite Muslims and Iraqi forces. More news at 10.
And for suburban traffic on the ones, tune to WMAQ Radio.
A talk with Valerie Bertinelli tonight at 10.
Breast implants, removing the fear, clearing the confusion, tonight at 10.
The Real Families from Switched at Birth, tonight at 10.
Breast implants, removing the fear, clearing the confusion, tonight at 10. Wake up first thing in the morning to Channel 5. Bob Surratt, Allison Rosati, Roberta Gonzalez. Channel 5 News, first thing in the morning, weekdays from 6 to 7. This is a Channel 5 News update. Here is Jackie Bang.
Good evening. Coming up at 10, the real-life parents from tonight's movie tell their emotional story, how their children were switched at birth. Also, the bizarre case of a suburban attorney found dead at an intersection. Plus, breast implants. What are the choices? What are the problems? Joan Esposito clears the confusion on what the risks really are. Those stories and more tonight on Channel 5 News at 10. One woman beaten by 2 others in a racial attack at 10.
Join us tomorrow at 6:30.
Right here on Channel 5.
From the Channel 5 newsroom.
Murder in a Loop Law office is now a family tragedy. A man has been arrested for the shooting deaths of his brother and his brother's attorney. Latest details on this double murder at 10. Also, Congressman Dan Rostenkowski reacts to the Chicago Sun-Times endorsement of his rival. And Scottie Pippen, as you've never seen him before, from his small-town beginnings to life after Michael, the All-Star MVP and new leader of the Bulls, speaks out in an exclusive interview.
Those stories and more tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10. Live from the Channel 5 newsroom.
Good evening, I'm Robin George. Coming up tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10. Police say a man killed his brother and his brother's attorney in a Loop Law office. Now a friend of one of the victims talks about the family feud that led to the tragedy. Congressman Dan Rostenkowski reacting to a Sun-Times endorsement for one of his opponents. And an off-court view of Bulls star Scottie Pippen as you've never seen him before. Renee Ferguson with a special Channel 5 report. It's all coming up on the Channel 5 News tonight at 10 o'clock.
The coach, Dick Versace, gives us a ride around the NBA on Sports Sunday.
Scottie Pippen as you've never seen him before. A personal look tonight at 10. Tonight, a Channel 5 News special report. It's become a staggering problem.
It's not the Anti-Cruelty Society or any humane society's fault that all these animals are being born and also that we have to euthanize them. No one likes to euthanize animals.
Unadoptable pets being put to death in alarming numbers. But it doesn't have to happen. What can you do to help save these animals who have nowhere to go? Find out in a special report tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10. You just watch. From the Channel 5 newsroom.
A teenager charged with raping a classmate is allowed back into the same school. Tonight, how an outraged father wants to protect his daughter.
New evidence that the most dangerous place to have a heart attack is in a big city like Chicago. How clogged traffic arteries make for a dismal survival rate in Health Watch.
Adoptable pets are being put to death in alarming numbers. In a special report, what you can do to help pets who have nowhere else to go.
Those stories and more tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10.
Is Chicago one of the worst places to have a heart attack? The story at 10.
Pippen apologizes and Michael reacts tonight at 10.
How to help save animals from death at 10.
Live from the Channel 5 newsroom.
Good evening, I'm Mark Sapelsa. Tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10, she was known to friends as pleasant and hardworking. Now police search for the killer of this North Side mother. Also,
I think the whole point truly for me for this movie is you can survive, that suicide is not the way out.
Joan Rivers and daughter Melissa featured in tonight's NBC movie What They Learned About Each Other by making that film. Also, a man faces cancer, and the only way out is an operation once considered too risky. We'll have a special report. And the Bulls try and get back to basics of basketball. All next on the Channel 5 News. That's at 10. Please join us.
Scottie Pippen hitting a second from downtown. He has 21.
year, they migrate back, returning to the exact same spot in a pilgrimage they have made for as long as anyone can remember. It's as if coming here is a natural part of their existence. Call 1-800-432-TRIP for your free Wisconsin guide. You can take a vacation anywhere, or you can follow your instincts and come to Wisconsin.
From the Channel 5 newsroom.
A Northside woman is found strangled to death in her own bathtub. Tonight, the latest on the search for the killer of a 30-year-old single mother. Plus, man and wife face his cancer together. His only chance, a rare, delicate surgery. At 10, we'll take you inside the operating room as the drama unfolds. Also, Joan and Melissa Rivers speak candidly about recreating their lives for tonight's film and what it was like for mother and daughter to work together.
Those stories and more tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10. Who's on first with Chicago's earliest local TV news? First with weather and traffic reports to help you get to work. First with business and travel updates. First with the news and information you need in the morning, plus just the right dose of the unexpected. Like Bonaducci's Buzz, celebrity weathercasters, first birthdays, and coffee can to help make your first impression of the day a bright one. Who's on first? The Channel 5 News, first thing in the morning, every weekday at 5:30 and 6. You just watch. Live from the Channel 5 newsroom.
Here's what's coming up on the Channel 5 News at 10, a break in the case of a popular sports figure.
I'm Phil Rogers at Area 4 Police Headquarters, where one suspect is in custody and a second is being sought in connection with the shooting of announcer Wayne Mesmer. Details coming up on the Channel 5 News at 10.
Also stalking, it's not just about a movie. Local stalking victims reaching out to help one another. And Michael Jordan does something he's never done in minor league ball. We'll explain. Join us for the news and Sports Sunday tonight.
Finally, a reason not to hate Mondays. Okay, so what do we do about Tuesday?
From the Channel 5 newsroom.
The local battle against crime gets a boost on two fronts.
I'm Kevin McCarty. Push's Operation Man the Streets marches through Robert Taylor homes. This comes on the same day the federal government holds hearings about violence in the projects. I'll have the story.
I'm Phil Walters in Southwest Suburban Summit, where sirens will sound at 10 o'clock, telling 16-year-olds to get off the street. Is it fair? Will it help?
Also, which airline serves you best? Find out the new rankings and a new cancer vaccine. That's all tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10.
Everybody's going to Marshall Field's two-day sale.
Don't you miss out on Marshall Field's two-day sale. This Wednesday and Thursday only.
From the Channel 5 newsroom.
A Catholic priest in Chicago has been relieved of his duties and removed from his church because of allegations of sexual misconduct with a child. It's happening in Chicago. 18 kids recently found living in squalor. At 10, the dramatic increase in poverty among young children and why some now say an entire generation is being left behind. Also, broccoli and breast cancer. New research suggests a breakthrough in preventing the disease.
Those stories and more tonight on the Channel 5 News at 10.
There are very few guarantees in life. There's no guarantee you'll win the lottery. No guarantee your kitchen cabinets will be completed on schedule. No guarantee you're going to have a good hair day. Well, that's you. But with Carson's Days, you're guaranteed the lowest sale prices on the best selection of the season. Which means that although you can't buy happiness, you can certainly get a great deal on a coffee maker, regardless of your hairstyle.
Up next on the Channel 5 News, a suspect charged in the shooting of a Chicago sports personality. We'll go live.
Then a rush hour warning for commuters who use the Stevenson.
And a first for Michael Jordan. We'll show you on Sports Sunday, all ahead at 10.
Joan and Melissa Rivers, the story behind the movie at 10.
Love. Scottie Pippen forgiven. The full story on Sports Sunday.
Veronica Hamill, Jack Scalia's Shadow of Obsession, next.
Everybody talking on Channel 5. Change the way I start my day. She talks a real good game. Then we come to leave. We got a show that's gonna please ya. Scary and solitude. Now baby got still telling you. Jerry is the man. He always understands. Sally knows just what to say. She warms your heart every day. You will open up your mind. He's one of a kind. Everybody's talking on Channel 5.
They hand out that green blazer at the Masters. We'll tell you on Sports Sunday.
U.S. airstrikes over Bosnia, the story at 10.
A new plan to keep teens off the street, the story at 10. A possible breakthrough in preventing breast cancer, the story at 10. Which airlines have the best performance, the new rankings at 10.
Up next on the Channel 5 News, not much to show for a weekend of Chicago teacher contract talks.
A break in the Friday murder of a Park Forest woman.
The Atlantic coast braces for the slow but almost sure Hurricane Emily.
And Iowa tries to dry up from a new round of flooding. Join us on the Channel 5 News at 10.
Parents and community leaders gathered to pray for change at Jenner Elementary School. They want to save the school from violence. A Chicago-bound plane makes an emergency landing in Durango, Mexico. News Channel 5 talks to two Chicagoans stuck in Mexico. Plus, some shocking remarks from the CEO of Delta Airlines about problems in the industry. And just how long will this great weather last? Alan Seals will be here to tell us. It's all after the movie.
You're watching the News Channel, where you'll find News Channel 5 at 10.
Unit 5 report. Unit 5. News Channel 5. Unit 5 report. Unit 5. News Channel 5.
Mike Ditka, both teams dying for victory. We'll have a preview of Sports Sunday on the other side of this break.
I'm Alan Seals in the Weather Center preparing a forecast that's going to keep you warm. That's coming up a little later.
Channel 5, Unit 5 report. Committed to Chicago. Committed to bringing you the stories that go way beyond the headlines. Monday, it's the one thing that's your own. Your identity. The one thing no one can take away from you. Or so you think. A Chicago area man's identity stolen. His credit ruined. How can someone do this? It's easier than you think. Unit 5 reports. Stories you won't see anywhere else. Monday on News Channel 5 at 10.
Who would I put on my Mount Rushmore? White Sox are winning the World Series.
Whoa! I came over the south side, and look, I was going to be unequivocally me.
Is there someone you think, I got a valuable sleeper you might want to look at?
LX News delivers live news every weekday from 11 to 11 with a storytelling approach that speaks directly to you.
There's a lot going on.
Watch LX News every weekday from 11 to 11 on TV, cable, and on your favorite streaming platforms.
Forget your basic weather app. Instead, trust the NBC Chicago app. Here, you can customize your preferences, see only what you want, and subscribe to whichever alerts you care about. Download the free NBC Chicago app and take the NBC5 Storm Team with you wherever you go.
Do you care about climate change, about social justice, about your community and your world? So do we. We're LX News, a new network dedicated to bringing you the news and events that matter most to you. Making news
right now.
Stories you'll want to share with your friends.
It's time to check out some of the biggest stories that people are sharing right now.
News you need to know.
We got more news to get to.
Designed for you and the way you live.
Yes!
Watch LX News every weekday on TV, cable, and on your favorite streaming platforms.
On the next Access Daily, we're helping you wind down for the weekend.
$16 versus $42.
This one is lower.
No,
I was
wrong. You're wrong.
With the Shark Week sneak peek, next Access Daily.
Today at 1 on NBC5.
Maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, it went from almost like a dead calm to me watching trees just arcing over.
I ran into my bathtub, turned on Grant Miller. He said, confirmed tornado touchdown in Naperville.
Amanda Seyfried, you were about to go to college when Mean Girls happened, right?
Yeah.
Is that a hard decision? No. Plus, Kyle MacLachlan.
Today at 3 on NBC5.
Millions of residents missing cash or refunds worth billions. Can you cash in? Log on to NBCChicago.com to find important tools and resources needed to find your cash. NBC5 investigates Lost and Found on NBCChicago.com.
they're indeed a playoff team. Now it's incumbent on management to go get an arm.
I think they'll come back hungrier.
He's definitely on the bubble. That is absolutely going to cash. You'll be watching history like we've never seen before.
Accurate forecasts on the free NBC Chicago app.
A través de cada comunidad, Telemundo Chicago Responde y NBC5 Response han trabajado juntos para solucionar tus problemas como consumidor.
Nos enorgullece en haber ayudado a miles de personas como tú en cada vecindario.
Desde contestar tus llamadas en nuestros eventos en vivo hasta hablar personalmente contigo ahí mismo en tu comunidad, trabajamos juntos para solucionar tus problemas como consumidor en español e inglés.
Y nunca olvidamos que el único problema que importa es el tuyo.
Contáctanos, estamos aquí para ayudar.
Dig in with true crime on Oxygen.
He knew somebody was trying to kill him.
Get lost in a deep dive.
I want to know what happened to her.
Crack open a cold case file.
This is the biggest unsolved case in history.
And untangle.
I was her first target.
All the clues.
It's just insane.
Unleash your inner armchair detective.
This season's cases are some of the most challenging yet.
Get some of the most provocative true crime series over the air for free, only on Oxygen True Crime.